And we have one more tweet, and that is at Bortles Facts, which, by the way, if you're not following Blake Bortles Facts on Twitter, you are doing yourself a disservice. Because this is the second straight week that this Twitter account has appeared on this segment. At Bortles Facts tweeted, Blake Bortles has prevented more truck thefts, 1, than the at Bengals have playoff wins since 1991, 0. For those of you who haven't heard, Blake Bortles was at a party. A truck was about to get stolen. He stopped it.
Well, at least he's good for something.
I think he's good for a lot of things. What was it last week? He never fell and slid under the ring running onto the field.
Yeah. Okay.
Titus O'Neil entering the greatest Royal Rumble tripped and fell and actually slid under the ring, and it wasn't on purpose.
You should be immediately disqualified at that point. You've been eliminated now. You eliminated yourself before you even got into the ring.
Exactly.
Because you've entered the square, just underneath it. You've entered the square, and now to get back into the ring, you have to step out. You're out. Done. Wasn't bad.
That's ultra embarrassing, which, by the way, I took a tumble today at work.
Did he get eliminated?
Eventually he did.
Oh, wow.
Walking up the stairs going into work, my fat ass fell.
You fell up the stairs?
Fell up the stairs.
That's impressive.
It was the last stair. I fell going up the last stair. My foot didn't go up enough, and I went down.
So you had felt that you'd already accomplished all the stairs, and you really gave it a half effort on the last one, and it came to cost you.
Apparently, yeah, and I got this cool little scrape on my leg. Yeah, it's not horrible, but it's definitely noticeable.
No, don't worry about it. Chicks takes girls.
Yeah, well.
Scar, that'll probably just heal over.
So. Yeah, it's just gonna...
It's a lose-lose anyway.
Yeah, it's just gonna rub weird on
did
the...
anybody see it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Then good, at least you have that joy.
Besides Christine, there were 3 others that saw it.
Oh, okay, good. At least there was an audience for this.
One of them did nothing. The other 2 were like, are you okay?
I would have laughed.
I laughed.
Okay. Then we're on the same page here.
All right, so that does it for for the sports tweets of the week. Oh, man, now time to talk about my favorite topic so far, and that is college lacrosse. Dan, have you watched any of the lacrosse games that have gone on this past week?
Not this past week.
Oh.
During the season, we saw it live.
We did. We watched the UAlbany versus Drexel game.
That was entertaining.
But, oh my God, love college lacrosse. So we'll just go through the scores and we'll talk about the potential or the great matchups that are coming. We'll do it in order. Number 1, Maryland defeated Robert Morris 14-11.
Shocking.
It was a lot closer than a lot of people thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, that score is a lot. It is surprising. But, I mean, it also shows you the level playing field that you're dealing with the lacrosse. Lacrosse is like football in the sense that any given day you can go down. It doesn't matter who you are, how many wins you have, how many losses you have. You can lose. Mm-hmm. And that's a perfect example of it right there in that game.
Number 2, I, for whatever reason, wrote Albany. It's obviously Albany.
Yeah, that's not our name.
Nope. Albany defeated Richmond 18-9, doubled up the Spiders.
Connor Fields really had a game.
7 points?
Yeah, really had a game. Made him so he is the number 2 all-time points scorer in NCAA history behind Lyle Thompson.
Yeah.
So UAlbany now is the number 1 and number 2 all-time NCAA point scorers in college history.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're going to have number 1, number 2, number 3 in the next 3 years. Because Tahoga Nanticoke is so good.
He's a beast, too.
He is a football player playing lacrosse.
What I will say is I'm happy. The most impressive thing about that was finally seeing Connor Fields play to the way that we need Connor Fields to play if we want to hope in this tournament. We need him to be at full 100% pedal to the floor.
Of course. I mean, don't necessarily...
That could be all the difference for us. And we didn't have him with those losses that we took in down
UMBC and Yale. It was close at Yale until he went down.
Yeah, but he stays in the game. That's a different story.
Absolutely. It 100% is.
He made the difference in the Maryland game when we won.
The fact that he is not going to have won a Tewaaraton award is an absolute joke.
It's unfortunate. It's because of his injuries this season.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he rightfully probably deserves to be the best lacrosse player in the country, because I think he is.
Yeah, he 100% is.
I mean, we're definitely going to get... Nanichok's probably going to win that twice. At some point.
At least.
If not 3 times.
So, Albany defeats Richmond 18-9. Number 3, Yale defeats UMass 15-13. Game wasn't even close in the first half. Yale took their foot off the gas, I think, and UMass just absolutely put their foot on the pedal. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, if there's anything that I'm really excited about from seeing these scores, it's that Maryland and Yale looked beatable against bad teams.
They did, and I mean, it's hard to say. Were they really, in Yale's sense, were they really playing the full length of the game? No, probably not. They probably just made sure that they kept the distance far enough. But it does show that there's vulnerability here, especially of the top, are probably 2 most concerning teams that we could see during this tournament.
Oh, what a lucky shot. Oh my God. Watching the NBA playoffs, LeBron just launched a deep 3. I believe it was LeBron.
It definitely was.
Yeah. So LeBron gets the ball back, launches a deep 3, hits the front of the rim, and bounces in.
That's a members bounce.
That is ridiculous. So anyways, going back to the lacrosse games, like I said, I'm very pleased because it shows Yale and Maryland are both beatable, which is good for Albany. Anyways, number 4, Duke defeated Villanova 17-11. Johns Hopkins, number 5, defeated Georgetown 10-9. Georgetown was up 9-4 in the third quarter, and Johns Hopkins won 10-9 in overtime. Sucks to be them.
That's what it is.
Number 6, Loyola Maryland defeated Virginia 14-12. Denver defeated number 7 Notre Dame 9-7, and Cornell defeated number 8 Syracuse 10-9. All right, so going through those matchups, I gotta say, if I had to put my money on who's going to advance and who's going to play in the championship, without trying to sound biased, right now it looks like Duke and Albany are the 2 best teams.
They had the most impressive outings in the first games. Again, we'll see more how this breaks down. There were teams that were ranked that just went down. 2 arguably good teams. I mean, Cornell's always been a strong team. Denver's always has been on the rise for many years.
They won a championship 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not inconceivable, but best showings first weekend, clearly. I mean, Albany had, I think, the best showing. I mean, and it also was positive for Albany because we saw Connor Fields get back to his mojo, and Duke had the better showing. Every other team looked like they either didn't play the full game or there's obviously weakness there that can be exploited. Yeah,
and like I said, Maryland didn't look good. Maryland was down 6-3 at the half.
Yeah, and we know Maryland's beatable. I mean, it's not implausible.
Right.
I mean, if anything, this is very encouraging for Albany's chances this year.
I am very encouraged, yes. So that brings us to the matchups for next week. Mm-hmm. One thing that I'm really excited for is we're just going to skip the first game. Albany versus Denver. Why am I excited for Albany versus Denver? Face-offs.
Yeah, it's the
best
face-off.
You have Trevor Baptiste, who is the best all-time in college lacrosse, versus T.D. Ireland, who's going to take that mark next year as a junior.
The funny thing is T.D. has better stats this year than Baptiste does, and Baptiste was a finalist for the Tour Nord.
Which is really
and a lot of people contribute that to the fact that he plays in the Big East versus the American East, but numbers don't lie on a face-off guy. It
I'm
doesn't matter
sorry.
who you're going up against.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The fact that Albany played Maryland and played Yale and played Syracuse, that means nothing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of baffled by it, but I mean, as far as a face-off battle is concerned, this is a game that you want to watch because a lot of this may be a close game because of that face-off battle.
I'm pretty sure I saw a stat that Trevor Baptiste has had 2 games where he was perfect in his career. TD Ierlan has 4 this season.
Yeah. And I think if Ierlan takes him in this, because you Albany winning those face-offs, they're a faster team, and they could jump on Denver. Denver relies on holding the ball and getting through their progressions, where Albany is not going to allow you to have that chance. They can get you down early, and then you won't be able to set up. You're going to need to go.
Whether TD or Baptiste wins the face-off battle, Albany's defense is far superior to Denver's offense, and Albany's offense is far superior to any defense.
Yes, in the country.
Yes. So
that being said, the Maryland Cornell game, I'm going to say watch out for because Cornell has a history of upsetting people. They love doing this. So I would not be shocked for that game to be closer than people think.
honestly, I am not worried about Maryland. It's Yale. But I'm not so worried about Yale, and I'll explain why in just a minute. First, we'll go back to that Maryland-Cornell game. You're right. Cornell is a slow-it-down, beat-you-down kind of team, which is what they did to Syracuse. They held Syracuse to 9 goals. Syracuse is a high-powered, fast offense, and Cornell held them to 9.
And Cornell likes playing the spoiler. They've done this many a time. They've done it to Albany before.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised. When they get into the tournament, they go for blood.
Of course.
And I think Maryland should not overlook them, and I think that game's going to be a lot closer than people think.
I think, regardless of who wins the Maryland-Cornell game, I think Duke is coming out of that side of the bracket.
It very likely could.
But
I would love to watch Duke and Maryland kick a crap out of each other, and that would be joyous for me. I don't care which one of them loses.
they're playing number 5 Johns Hopkins.
That's a tough game.
That is a tough game.
It's good. That might be the best game of the weekend.
It might be. The best matchup is definitely TD Baptiste.
Yes, but I'm talking about teams
Team
against
versus
each other.
team. Yeah. No,
Duke and Johns Hopkins will probably be the most entertaining game.
I disagree. I think Yale Loyola Maryland is going to be so good because Loyola Maryland is the one team in this tournament that is faster than Yale, and Yale plays on speed.
I mean, excitement factor. I think if you're looking for an exciting game, Yale against Loyola Maryland will be there. If you want like a chess match game, Duke Johns Hopkins that's what it's going to be there. Those two are going to try, and it may not even be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're going to get from Duke Johns Hopkins. Duke is riding with 3 freshmen.
Yeah,
that are really.
I mean, it could be a low-scoring game that they're just trying to go for a goal and get an advantage. If you want excitement,
6-5.
Yeah, you want excitement. Most likely a high-scoring game. It's going to be that Yale Loyola game because they're going. Both of them, their tendency is to just hit the pedal on the floor and go.
I wouldn't be surprised from this Duke Johns Hopkins game if we get a 6-5 finish or if we get an 18-16 finish.
It could go either way.
You have no idea what's going to happen.
You have no idea. But I do expect the Yale game to be a high-scoring game.
I expect it to be a high-scoring game as well.
I would say at least 13-14 will win that game. If not higher.
Maryland, I still think Maryland's going to win. I think it'll be an ugly, close game. I think
so, too.
I think you're going to see like a 11-10 type of game. Maryland wins, where the only reason they don't lose is because as Cornell's going to score that game-tying goal, one of their guys just happens to hit the stick and then holds the ball for the last 30 seconds.
Yeah,
that's the type of game that I'm expecting from Maryland Cornell. So my prediction: Maryland beats Cornell, Albany beats Denver, Yale beats Loyola Maryland, which sucks because I think I'd rather play Loyola Maryland.
Yeah, I think I would too.
And I think Duke beats Johns Hopkins, Duke beats Maryland, Albany beats Yale, and
Duke against Albany.
I think Duke's going to beat Albany. But I will be in attendance
You're gonna go.
At Gillette, if Albany's playing in the national championship.
Yeah, it may be